Alrighty. So let me start over again.
Dramatic pause.
Yeah. Wait for it. This is going to be exciting. Going to do another helmet video, and this one is about the FXR, the last two in their lineup. This is the FXR Clutch, and this is the FXR Torque. So we have the full lineup of FXR helmets, at least the newer ones that they have on their website right now. And we have created GoPro chin mounts for all these helmets and the 60 or so other helmets that we have mounts for. They are helmet specific, mount to the chin bar of the helmet, and each one of them is different, right? So you can see between these two vastly different mounts specific for the individual helmet. We put a lot of work into these, as you can tell, with across the 60 that we've created mounts for, and it's just taken a lot of work to get to this point, but now we have a full lineup and we're working on more every day. So if we don't have the mount for your specific helmet, if you don't have an FXR or any of the other ones that we have mounts for, just drop us a note in the comment section below, and we'll make a note of getting those onto our development roadmap. But these mounts specifically, they're custom designed to the individual helmet, and they stick out far enough from the helmet that you can get a tip back angle so that the mount isn't, or that the camera is not looking down at the ground, right? Most of the time when you're standing on the bike, your head's going to be tipped forward like this, so it's nice to be able to put the GoPro in and tip it back so it's parallel to the top of the eye port here, and that allows you to get this parallel view of the terrain, so you're getting a little bit of the bike, a little bit of the horizon, so it's not just like looking straight down at the ground. Because a lot of times with other mounts, one of the reasons why we started doing this was that they would mount the GoPro so close to the helmet that it would just stick straight out from it, and when you stood up, it would look almost straight down at the ground. Yeah, nobody wants to stare at the ground or just your bike. One of the cool things that we've done more recently is we've changed the material that we make these mounts out of. Previously, these mounts were made out of a harder plastic. It's called PLA. It is brittle enough or hard enough of a plastic that if you were to smack your face into the handlebars or crash in some way and run your face into the ground, this could potentially break. Whereas the newer mounts are TPU, or thermoplastic polyurethane, which is basically a rubber-like material, and it's flexible enough so that it could absorb an impact without ever breaking. Like you couldn't break these on impact. I would at least go as far as to say that. They're very good for that reason. I just think that they're a much improved product now as opposed to the plastic ones that we used to make. Even though they're rubber, they're not so flexible to the point where you have to worry about any of that vibration or anything, or you don't have to worry about the camera moving in any such way where you're going to notice that from the point of view of the camera, especially with these newer ones where you have image stabilization, you're just never going to notice the camera moving around at all. This is for the 60 Atr2 Mount, and you can see that this one's also made out of that rubberized material. You can just see how much you can really tweak and twist it, and it just comes straight back to its original shape. And you can take these mounting forks and just twist them all the way around, like that. They're good as new. So really, I mean, if you were to take an impact straight on, you might break your camera, but this mount I don't think is ever going to become a problem. It's a huge improvement to our product lineup. I'm super excited about this because, I mean, it just increases the longevity of our mounts and makes them better for our customers, and anything that we can do to make a better product is something that we obviously want to do. So we get a lot of questions about how these mounts are actually mounted to the helmet, and they're mounted with this 3M mounting tape. You can just see it peels off like that, backing, and you just stick it to the helmet. And it's waterproof, fairly shock absorbent. It could pop off. Like, we want it to be able to be removable. It's pretty much one-time use. Like, you'd have to replace the tape, and we do sell replacement tape. You can find that in our website, which will be in the description below. One of the things that's interesting about these new TPU mounts is that If you wanted to replace the tape, we actually glue these on. We glue the tape onto the mount, and it holds extremely well. You can still peel it off, it'll come off clean. It's just it's a rubberized glue. It's this Gorilla Clear Grip glue. And what you'd want to do is buy a replacement tape and then put this Gorilla Clear Grip glue on it, which we'll also link to down in the description below. And that's going to make it very secure. It holds extremely well to both the TPU and the tape. That was the only downturn to switching to this new type of material, is that not very much sticks to it. So we had to kind of change our assembly method to include gluing the tape on, which I think actually made a better product in the end anyways. So here you can see it mounted up with the camera on it here. You can see that the tilt back angle is parallel with the top of the eye port. You can see how much kind of flexes in the arms of this thing, which we've run these things now for several months, and you can't see that, especially with the newer GoPros, any of the vibration in the camera. It's just, the image stabilization is so good to the point where you're never going to notice that, and it just, like I said, makes for a better product overall. One of the things that we did with these mounts is we flipped the screw direction around, and the reason that we did that is because there's the camera side doors on the newer GoPros are on the side here, and when you have the GoPro screw going in this direction, it makes it hard to get that little latch down. So we made a little bit of a change there that makes it just easier to get the camera on and off and change batteries and whatnot when you're not running the media mod. So one of the other things that we do on this side of the GoPro mounting forks is we add in these little notch tick marks. And these will allow you to get kind of an idea of what the tilt back angle is. So if you were running like an ADV helmet and you wanted to, you're sitting more like this, you might want to run your camera tilted forward a little bit, and that would allow you to kind of have a consistent reference to know where that tilt angle is, so that you can get it consistent every time. Just on GoPro mounting specifically, not really related to our mounts, we've run mounts that are, you know, on the side of the helmet, on the top of the helmet. And the nice thing about chin mounting is that the camera is more protected, in that if you're running a camera on top of the helmet, what can happen is you can get it hit by a tree branch or something, and it'll tip the GoPro back, or maybe even knock it off altogether. And the odds of it getting hit here on the chin of the helmet are slim to none. Unless you're crashing. And even in that case, you're probably likely to turn your head to the side. I feel like even still the GoPro is pretty protected. It's just gonna make it all that much safer for the GoPro, and you're less likely to lose it or lose the footage. I think is probably the biggest thing, because if your camera gets knocked in some way, like, you'll be able to see it because it's within your line of sight. And that same thing applies to audio pickup as well. So since it's right in front of your mouth, the audio reception, especially when you're running the media mod, is a lot better. Just because it's that much closer to your mouth. So the same thing applies to the camera when you have the media mod mounted on the camera. We get some questions about whether or not it's got enough tilt back room to incorporate the media mod, because obviously it makes the camera bigger. And we have designed this to obviously have enough room for the media mod. One of the things that we didn't get to take advantage of, so they make a kind of a cutout here for the screw, which actually it's easier to put it in from this side, because you'll notice that on the side of the media mod here, they have a little bit of extra room for the electronics and things that power the media mod. So you can't actually get your fingers on the end of the screw like you can over here. So even though we don't get to take advantage of this notch out here underneath the media mod, it still does allow us to get an easier grip on the end of the screw handle, which is a nice feature. So one of the last things I wanted to point out about these mounts is that you can mount them upside down. I think in a lot of cases we got used to mounting our GoPros upside down when the mounts were a lot closer to the helmet, because that was the only way that we could accomplish the tilt back angle. The thing I don't like about mounting it upside down is that even though it puts it lower and it gives you that lower perspective, it's more likely to hit you in the chest if you were to look down, because it's sticking out further, and it could knock it up like that. In that case, it might not be such a good thing to mount it upside down. I personally run it right side up, and I just can't tell the difference between it being mounted upside down and right side up. But that being said, if you had some specific use case for it, you could run it upside down like this and it would work just fine. Real quick, before we wrap this up, I want to go over what comes in the box when you buy one of our mounts. So you get our cool box, you're gonna get a mount, a screw, you're going to get a couple of stickers, and you're gonna get an alcohol pad. That will help you clean the helmet when you get the mount. Additionally, you can find these on our website. They're a 90-degree adapter, and this is for if you're running like or content for Instagram or something like that, and you want to run it in native vertical. You can put the GoPro in this way, and it'll keep the dimensions in the 4K resolution for the phone perspective in portrait mode. It's something that's nice to have if you're creating content for Instagram or for TikTok or one of the others, then you want it in that aspect ratio. That will also come with a screw as well. Yeah, that is sold separately, so if you want one, they'll be on our website. And I want to talk a little bit about mounting these. So when you get one of these, what you want to do is, the first thing obviously is you want to clean the helmet. Make sure you understand where the mount is supposed to be mounted. Clean that up so you don't have any dirt or oil or anything like that on the helmet. And then once you understand where the mount is supposed to go, peel off the backing here, and that will expose the sticky side. And with these TPU mounts, it's a lot easier because they are flexible, but still you want to make sure that you have it mounted in the right spot. Even though you could mount it all funky and you could get it on there wrong, it is designed to mount specifically to the helmet, and there's a place where it's supposed to go. So if you just hold it up to the helmet and it doesn't fit, it's probably not the right mount for your helmet. And that has happened in the past where, you know, in some cases you might not get the right mount for your helmet because they are specific to a wide range of different helmets, and you have to have the right one. So peel off the backings, just pull back a little bit on these, put it into the proper depth, and then just push it in and then press it down. It's a lot easier with these rubber mounts than it used to be with the hardened plastic ones, just because they're a little bit more malleable and you can get it in there. You can be straight on with it without having to worry about it getting on crooked or anything like that. So they're also really easy to mount now, which is also a benefit of these rubberized mounts. If you do break these, we do offer a lifetime warranty. Just hit us up on Instagram or email us through our website. Anything, I mean, it's a hassle-free warranty, and we'll just throw you a new one. We want to make sure we take care of you guys and you're happy as you can be with these chin mounts. So just let us know and we'll take care of it right away. My brain is fading quickly and I don't have a lot of enthusiasm left. So check out the links in the description below. Like this video, comment if you have any questions, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and buy a chin mount. I'm gonna go to bed.